Hi, I'm Mike Lowe for Digital Camera, and in our compact system camera head-to-head we put the Panasonic Lumix G3 against the Samsung NX11. The concept of a compact system camera is much like that of a DSLR, albeit smaller. The main difference is the no mirror box, which means it's not possible to have an optical viewfinder. But like DSLRs, both these cameras have interchangeable lens systems, which means lenses can come off to be replaced by different focal lengths for different scenarios. The Samsung NX11 has the larger sensor of these two cameras. It's an APS-C size, like that found in many DSLR cameras. By comparison, the G3 has the smaller sensor, which is a micro four thirds size sensor. On the rear of the cameras there's some crucial differences. The Samsung NX11 has an OLED screen, which is organic light emitting diode. This technology is far more fluid in playback and less power consumptive than LCD. The Panasonic G3 is quite different in that it uses LCD technology but has a vari-angle screen for positioning the screen into any particular angle that you care to shoot from for more unusual shooting situations. It's also a touchscreen, so it's possible to use many of the options with the power of touch rather than just using the buttons around the camera body itself. In terms of unique features for the NX11, there's the new eye function lens compatibility. This is a function button on the front of the lens and it comes on all of the available lenses. That opens up all the most commonly used options that you're then able to cycle through using the manual focus ring on the ring itself. It displays on the rear screen or into the viewfinder depending on which you're using. As it's not possible to have optical viewfinders, both these cameras come with built-in electronic viewfinders. The Samsung NX11 has a 921,000 dot 0.85 times magnification. This means it's the slightly larger of the two, as the G3's is a 0.7 times magnification but has the higher resolution at 1.44 million dots. In-use electronic viewfinders don't work quite as fluidly as optical viewfinders do, particularly in low light, as they can show some lagging when you're moving the camera around. It's not a particularly big problem though, and anyone with any concern should just look at one in the shop and see if it's the type of viewfinder for them. In terms of image quality, it's the NX11 with its larger sensor that produces these sharper and more detailed images. This is true throughout the entirety of the ISO range, which for the NX11 is from 100 to 3200, whereas for the G3 is from 160 to 6400. The G3's images are still good, but it uses much fiercer noise reduction processing, which makes images look a little softer overall. Although the NX11 is our camera of choice when it comes to image quality, it's the G3 that leads ahead when it comes to actual use. The focusing system is quicker and more accurate than that found in the NX11. It's also a little bit more complex, not even just from using the touchscreen, but the tracking measures and so on that it uses are just more accurate when it comes to moving subjects. As well as face detection, the G3 also offers AF tracking, a 23 area mode, one area, as well as a new pinpoint option. The pinpoint is particularly useful with the touchscreen, that it can focus on an area, zoom right in, acquire focus, and then you're able to take a shot. One of the other benefits of the G3 is it's possible to focus anywhere across the screen in its entirety. There's no boarded off edges that stop you from focusing edge to edge. The NX11 has single and continuous autofocus, but less modes in which to use them. It's pretty quick, but just not quite as fast as the super fast G3 is when it comes to focusing. As well as being able to shoot stills, both of these cameras can also shoot HD video as well. The G3 is able to shoot at 1080i compared to the lower resolution 720p from the NX11. In terms of use, it's really the touchscreen and the more complicated focus methods that make the G3 the winner in this particular department, because if you're tracking subjects and such like, it's really the one that's much more able to tell you what's happening and feed it back to you on the screen. Neither of them have full manual control, however. And then there's the question of price. For around £480 you can get an NX11 with an 18-55mm lens, compared to the G3, which is around £620 with a 14-42mm lens. However, the G series does offer more lenses available. This is partly down to the fact it's a micro four thirds standard, which means it's compatible with other micro four thirds cameras, including Olympus releases. Between the two, as to which one to buy, it's going to be very much down to what sort of photographer you are. On the one hand, there's the in-use side and the video side, which is where the G3 leads ahead. It's certainly the one that's able to more complexly track things when recording videos, and it's also got the faster focusing out of the two cameras. But when it comes to final image quality, the G3 just can't beat what the NX11 is capable of doing. For the likes of landscapes and portraits and even longer exposures, it certainly came out on top in our test in this area. So between the two, it's hard to separate which is our favourite, but it's very much down to what sort of photographer you are and what you prefer to shoot.